Mayor, nobody's signaled for our attention.
All right, at this time, we'll close the public hearing. Any council comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
I think the Roadrunner just ran by. All right, we have ordinance number 11 of 2020. This is a public hearing and adoption, and this is amending the city code as it relates to traffic on 10th Street South. Can we have a motion and second?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, so this is for a one-way street on 10th Street South. We will open it up to public comment at this time.
Mayor, I see no one trying to get our attention.
All right, then we will close public comment at this time. Are there any council comments?
Yes. Paul, didn't mean to step on your toes there. Just wanted to make the motion on that, and I apologize.
That's fine. No problem, as long as it passed.
I know I just gave you a shout out and complimented you on your work there. Like I said, our last meeting, lived there about 4 years, and it's a good idea. You know, additionally, you got the traffic where Ocean Avenue starts there down at the bend there by Kirby's Point. So, you know, there's a little, you know, you don't have a clear view there as well. So just another good reason to do what you're doing. So thank you.
Any other council comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes, yes.
Deputy Mayor Sarah,
At least you didn't call me Gunther, right? Yes.
motion carried.
We have resolution 2020-149, and this is authorizing award of contract for provisions of electrical generation supplies services for the South Power Cooperative. And this is a resolution authorizing award of contract to Constellation New Energy, Inc., Direct Energy Business, LLC, for the provisions of electronic generation supplied services for the South Power Cooperative. Whereas the County of Camden, as the lead agent for the South Jersey Power Cooperative, received an opening bid for the supply and delivery of electricity to various South Jersey Power Cooperatives and locations. Whereas Constellation New Energy was awarded a contract for rate groups 2, 3, and 4, and district energy businesses for rate group 1 located within the Atlantic City Electric Company. Services temporary were the lowest responded bidder for the service period of 24 months. Now therefore be it resolved by the Municipal Council of the City of Brigantine that Jim Bennett, City Manager, is hereby authorized to enter into a contract with said vendor on behalf of the City of Brigantine, commencing with the September 2020 meter readings. We have a motion and second.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any council comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
We have resolution 220-150, and this is vehicle maintenance and repairs for the City Beach Patrol. whereas the city of Brigantine has a need for dealer direct parts to service beach patrol and police off-road vehicles. Whereas it is determined in the best interest of the city of Brigantine to acquire said services and needs as needed. Whereas Dennis Kraus, the city purchasing agent, has determined and certified in writing that the value of these services will exceed $17,500. Whereas John Doran, Public Works Superintendent, and Dennis Kraus, city purchasing agent, reviewed the required maintenance schedules and recommend that Atlantic City Cycle Center of Hamilton, New Jersey, be awarded an alternative non-advertised method of service for service and repair to beach patrol vehicles as determined by the needs of the city of Brigantine. Whereas Atlantic City Cycle Center has completed and submitted a business registration certificate and a business entity disclosure certificate, which certifies that Atlantic City Cycle Center has not made any contributions to a political or candidate committee for the elected office of the city of Brigantine in the previous one-year period, and will prohibit them from making any contributions to the projected time of completion. Whereas the vendor has provided information demonstrating its compliance with provision NJSA 19:44A-20.5 regarding political contributions. Now therefore be it resolved by the Municipal Council of the City of Brigantine that an alternative method award with Atlantic City Cycle Center for service and repair to beach patrol vehicles. A copy of the business entity certification and determination of the value shall be on file with this resolution. We have a motion and second.
I'll make
So
that.
moved. Second.
Any council comments?
I have a question. When you say beach patrol vehicles, are you talking about their four-wheelers, their motorcycles? You're not talking about pickup trucks and
No, it's the ATVs, the ATVs and the side-by-sides, the Rangers that the police and the beach patrol use, not the four-wheel drive pickups or the Tahoes.
Okay. No, that's, I'm familiar with them because I've used them in the past for my motorcycle. I know that they're very reliable and they are very competitive price-wise, but I just wasn't sure what you were talking about when you say said vehicles. So,
Perfect.
thank you.
No problems. Good question. Any other council comments or questions? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Lucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
We have resolution 2020-151, which is a resolution authorizing the award of contract to replace the RTU condenser coil, whereas the condenser coil at the Public Works Building needs to be replaced, and whereas Felicia Mechanical is the current contracted vendor for the city of Brigantine for the HVAC maintenance and service, whereas John Doring, Superintendent of Public Works, agrees with the scope of work to be performed. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Municipal Council of the City of Brigantine to authorize Felicia Mechanical to perform the work necessary to replace the RTU condenser coil at the Public Works Building. We have a motion and second.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any council comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Lucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 220-152, and this is for the supply and delivery of portable toilets at various city locations. Whereas the city of Brigantine has a need for portable toilets at locations around the city, whereas it is determined to be in the best interest of the city of Brigantine to have said equipment available and properly maintained in order to provide quality of service to the public. Whereas Dennis Kraus, our city purchasing agent, has determined and certified in writing that the value of these services will exceed $17,500. Whereas Caprioni Portable Toilets, Inc. has performed this service for the city for the past 10 years. Whereas John Doring, Superintendent of Public Works, and Dennis Kraus, QPA, have reviewed the required needs of the city for portable toilets and recommended that Caprioni Portable Toilets, Inc. of Woodbine, New Jersey, be given an alternative non-advertised method of award for portable toilet rentals as determined by the needs of the city of Brigantine. Whereas the anticipated terms of these services are not to exceed 1 calendar year, whereas Capriano Portable Toilets, Inc. has completed and submitted a business registration and business entity disclosure certification, which certifies that Caprioni Portable Toilets, Inc. has not made any contributions to political or candidate committees for an elected office in the city of Brigantine in the previous 1 year period that will prohibit Caprioni Portable Toilets from making any contributions through the projected timelines of completion, whereas the vendor has provided information demonstrating its compliance with applicable New Jersey law. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Brigantine that an alternative method to award with Capriano Portable Toilets for portable toilet rentals. A copy of the business entity certificate and determination of value shall be on file with this resolution at the city clerk's office. We have a motion and second.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any council comments?
I'd just like to say, Vince, that was a lot of potty talk.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you pointing that out. If there's no other council comments, I guess we'll have roll call.
You,
Yes.
Thierry,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yeah.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
We have Resolution 2020-153, and this is a resolution authorizing award of contract to replace the furnace/condensing unit. Whereas the furnace and condenser coil at the Brigantine Library needs to be replaced, whereas Felicia Mechanical is the current contracted vendor for the city of Brigantine for the HVAC maintenance and service, whereas John Doring, Superintendent of Public Works, agrees with the scope of work to be performed. Now therefore be it resolved by the Municipal Council of the city of Brigantine to authorize Felicia Mechanical to perform the work necessary to replace the furnace and condenser coil. We have a motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Any council comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Thierry,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 220-154 is a special event permit refund. We have a motion and second.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Any council comments? We have roll call.
You,
Yes.
Thierry,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 220-155. These are farmers market participant fee refunds. We have a motion and second.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any council comments?
I just
Seeing
want,
none- Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Karen.
these were two vendors that were unable to complete the year with the market, so we felt that their committee felt that it was necessary to refund their $300 deposit.
Can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 220-156. This is a real estate tax exemption for 100% permanently and totally disabled veteran. Can we have a motion and second?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any council comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Lucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next up, we have our consent agenda. It's the Riptide Fall Striper / Bluefish Derby request, Atlantic County Surf Fishing Derby request, Clean Oceans Action Fall Beach Sweeps request. We have a motion and second.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I guess all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And Lynn, since it's, I just want to make sure, since it's consent, do we have to have a roll call or can it just be a motion?
Usually we have the roll call, but it's fine if we did it that way.
I was just making sure. I didn't. Next up, we have our council manager discussion. Jim, do you have anything for us?
No, Mayor, I have nothing to add this evening. Thank you.
All right, then we will go to Councilwoman Karen Bew, First Ward.
It's been a tough couple of weeks here in Brigantine. My heart goes out to all the families who have lost loved ones. We're all so deeply saddened by the loss of our mayor, Andy Simpson. Andy loved this island and worked tirelessly to make it great. He will be deeply missed by all of us. I would like to sincerely congratulate Vince on his becoming our new mayor. Just like Andy, Vince has great passion for our island and he will continue to move us forward. Vince, I want you and our residents and visitors to know that we have a great team here and I look forward to working alongside you every step of the way. I know that Phil and Andy have prepared you for this moment and I'm confident that you will be able to fill those very big shoes. And on another note, the farmers market had a very soggy Saturday this week, but we still managed to have over 1,000 shoppers.
Wow.
This coming week will be our final regular market, but wait, we will have 2 more special markets this year. Our fall harvest market will be held on Saturday, October 17th, and our holiday market will be held on Saturday, November 21st, right in time for Thanksgiving shopping. Many of our vendors are excited to participate in these events, which will be held in the same location at the Brigantine Community School parking lot. We look forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you very much. Have a good week.
Thank you, Karen. Karen, thank you very much for your kind words. It's a lot. Can we go to Councilman Paul Lettieri, Second Ward?
Along with Karen, my condolences to all the Brigantine families who lost members over the last couple of weeks. It's really been very unusual and horrific in some cases. I'd also like to congratulate Vince on his appointment to mayor. I'm sure he's going to do a great job. He's done a great job filling Andy's shoes during his absence, and I'm sure he will continue. Everything is good in the Second Ward. I did have a request from the residents of Bayshore Avenue earlier today. They talked about the excessive speed of some of the cars on Bayshore, and I discussed it with our city manager, Jim Bennett, and along with the chief of police, we'll be keeping an eye on that, see if we can correct it. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Paul. Again, thank you for your kind words. Let's go to Councilman Dennis Haney, the Third Ward.
Thank you, Vince. I just want to say thank you first to Vince and Karen for leading us in prayer these last couple of weeks with everything that's been going on, which we've just been talking about right now. And it's been a difficult time for many families, and we've really lost some very loved people. These last couple of weeks, last couple of meetings, I should say, I've spoken about VE Day and VJ Day and the 75th anniversary of this incredible group of people, of men and women that fought for our country and defeated Nazism and fascism. And so they left behind a legacy, and we still have many veterans left, although I believe it's only about 2% or so. But it totals, I believe, somewhere around 600,000 who still inspire. And we have those that are dearly departed that we will always remember. Today, September 2nd, was the day that everything officially ended. The terms of surrender were signed in Tokyo Bay. And I just wanted to make note of that today. It's a pretty significant day in American and world history. Finally, I want to say Andy had a vision and a love for the city and a way of leading. His vision, which I just mentioned, was extraordinary, really, as a businessman and as mayor. And he had an uncanny knack, just almost as if it was innate in what to do with the right thing as far as business and things of that. So rest in peace, Andy, in God's arms. Thank you.
All right, didn't realize I was muted. Let's go to our Fourth Ward Councilman, Rick DeLucre.
Thank you, Mayor Sarah. I join with my fellow council members in expressing our heartfelt condolences and sympathies to the many, many people who have been affected by the recent tragic events and deaths of so many of the beloved people in our community. I congratulate you, Vince. In his time as mayor, and particularly in the most tumultuous time that I've seen in my time on council, 2020, Andy's was a steady hand, and he did have a vision, and he wasn't afraid to do what's right. That seemed to be his guiding light. I'm happy to hear that you have recognized that and you've pledged yourself to that same approach, because I think it's the right approach. And I think you'll do very well. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, Rick. I appreciate it. Go to our Councilman at Large, Mike Reardon.
Thanks, Vince. Thanks, Mayor. Same again. Sad couple weeks here on the island. I mean, when you come from a small island like we're on, everybody's, if you don't know the people that have passed, you know someone who knows them. So it affects us all, and it's been tough, especially with Andy, who was such a good friend and had such a big heart. And I like what you said the other day, not only big shoes to fill, but a big heart to fill. And I know you're going to do a fabulous job, because what we've done so far and everything you've done, the communication's great. I look forward to working with everybody here on council. And so congratulations, Vincent. Thank you. On another note, during the week we had I think most of us got an email about some complaints of extra trash around Ocean Avenue on the weekend and all around 9th Street or 10th Street. And so I just wanted to thank John Doring and all, because I called John and replied to the person, and John was right on it as usual. So thank you, John, and thank you for all that you do with your guys and stuff. I went over there myself to take a look at the pictures that were sent, and it was already cleaned up. So great job. I know we're going to be, with the success of the outdoor dining this summer, it's hard to believe that Labor Day weekend is this weekend, but I know we're going to be working together on to continue the outdoor dining in the future, in the next season. So we look forward to doing that, working with City Manager Jimmy Bennett and Fred and everyone else. And I guess lastly, it's very exciting with the help from the Legion Riders, of which Paul Lettieri, Councilman Lettieri, is vice president, and the AOH Division 1, who named after Officer Thomas McMeekin, another local hero. But the Support Our Heroes March on September 12th, Saturday, September 12th at noon, that starts at City Hall and goes down to Veterans Triangle. So far, from working with the different groups and all, it seems very exciting. I know we're going to have a 9/11 commemoration on Friday, September 11th, as we traditionally do. And we'll have something on Saturday also, along with a prayer and national anthem at City Hall. And we'll proceed, led by the Legion Riders, going down Brigantine Ave with bagpipers after that, and individuals and groups that were supportive of thanking and showing appreciation to local heroes. We'll head down to Veterans Triangle, where we'll have a few speakers, and as we get more information, we'll be putting it out there. I think there's going to be something in the local paper this week, but it should be a great day for us, and of course, all socially distanced and masked up and all. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. I'm actually really excited for the Celebrate Our Heroes Day that you've put together. I think you put a lot of thought, a lot of effort, a lot of attention to detail. It's important, especially as we come up on 9/11. You know, one of the things we need to think about is when we think about our police, our fire, our first responders, you know, when normal people run away from danger, those guys are running towards it. Those men and women put their lives on the line to keep the rest of us safe. And I think it's a great tribute that yourself and, you know, the city is really putting together to honor those heroes who keep us safe every day. And I always go back to, you know, a quote one time from our fire chief, Tiger Platt. You know, one day I was talking with him and he said, you know, we show up when you're in your worst moments. And it's something that always stuck with me. You know, so I think it's great the respect that people have here in the community for our American heroes and especially for our veterans. I don't know if you guys remember, Brigantine actually was named as a veteran-friendly community by the state of New Jersey. You know, we do a lot here to pull together. For myself, you know, I really appreciate the support of council and I appreciate the opportunity to become mayor. And Mike's right, you know, it's not just filling Andy's shoes, but filling Andy's heart. And sometimes that's a side of government that gets forgotten is caring about people and thinking about people and not worrying about the politics, not worrying about, you know, how things look, but worrying about whether things are the right thing to do. And really the strength of this council is all of our members. You know, we have a phenomenal team, and I think everybody here has really stepped up, you know, especially in the face of everything that's going on. And you know, honestly, all of our city employees, all of our department heads, it's our entire community that makes this work. And I can't say this enough times, but, you know, we have something very, very special here. When you get to the top of that bridge and you look at Brigantine, there's this peace that comes over you because you just know things are good. It's because you're looking out at people who care about this community, who want to make things work. And it is unique and it is an honor, you know, to be able to serve as mayor of this community and serve with our entire team that's here. So thank you all. Thank you to our employees and thank you to our city for all the great things that you do to make Brigantine one of the best places to live on earth. Wanted to give an update with gyms reopening. We have our community wellness program. I know there's been some questions about that and what's going on. I know our April-May session that people had signed up for, we weren't able to run. Now that gyms are starting to open back up, one of the things we want to be able to do is give people who signed up for that session an opportunity to participate in the program. We've had some discussion back and forth with the owners of Wolf Fitness. They're just working out the final details of how they plan to address the COVID restrictions and the restrictions placed on gyms by the state of New Jersey. Once we have those details worked out, we want to make sure that we can put that plan out to the community so people can make an informed decision on whether or not they want to participate in the program at all. Like, some people's comfort level may be very, very different. There may be people who want to go back to the gym. We want to make sure that we offer that to them. And if there's people who don't feel comfortable going back, we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to have their money refunded. I think people paid, I think it was $30 that they paid to be a part of that program. So we want to make sure that if they don't feel comfortable at this time, we're not going to open it up for signups yet. We want to, make sure that we honor our commitment to the people who signed up for April, May, but we also want to see what happens with gyms. We've seen the governor make decisions to open things up, and then things change in the state and those change again. So we kind of want to run through and assess. So as soon as we have those details worked out, we'll put it out to the community. Jim, one thing, if I could ask of you, if you could have the community center, if people, when we put the information out, if people do want a refund, if they could put together just a little refund form that people can fill out. So this way we can have that organized, and then we'll put out the information and the dates of when people can go there. So we're not going to send people to the community center yet. We just want to get things in motion and ready.
Okay, I talked to Coach Mogan already, and I'll get with Roxanne to make sure I get the right information that she's going to need to process it.
Perfect. Thank you. The other thing I want to bring up too is, Brigantine has had a lot of hardship, and we've dealt with a lot of tragedy, but there's been a really bright spot that's been going on the island that I want to share with you guys that I had an opportunity to be a part of yesterday. We have a young man who lives in the community. His name is Carter Dorley. He is 9 years old, and he is the son of one of our Beach Patrol lieutenants. And he put together a plan and made a commitment to himself to surf 100 days in a row. And yesterday was his 100th day, and we had a huge outpouring from the community. A ton of people came out to show up with him, to surf with him. And I don't know if you guys have followed him on social media, but he's gone out there, he's posted videos. He's actually been doing community service around the island. He's been cleaning the beaches, cleaning the beach paths. He has brought so much excitement and so much energy to the local surf community. It's just been something great to follow and be a part of. Something that's really cool. All of Carter's hard work has really paid off in his surfing skills. Every year, Brigantine with the fire department, and actually Greg Fuller helped out this year, they host Surf Jam, and Public Works actually did a great job setting that up. So John, thank you. But Carter Dorley competed in that. Not only did he win his event, but they have a superheat event where all of the winners of all of the events compete. At 9 years old, Carter won the superheat. He became the youngest superheat champion in the history of the event. So he was surfing against people of all ages, and it was really amazing to see him go out and do that. So we just want to congratulate him and let the community know. I know the AC Press is out there covering the story. So I think it's just a real bright spot in the midst of everything that's going on. And I can tell you, like, sometimes one of the most beautiful things in the world is to see the community through the eyes of a child. And he's got big dreams ahead of him, and I wanted to make sure I took a picture with him. So when he's a pro surfer and he's famous one day, I can say I knew him when he was 9. So I want to congratulate Carter Dorley for all his accomplishments. And I was trying to push him to see if he could do 200 days, but that might take him into the winter. So we'll see. With all of that being said, I'd like to open it up for public comments. So this is public comments on any questions that you have or anything you'd like to talk about. Just signal to the manager and he will recognize you.
Vince, can I just add something real quick? Our True Spirit Coalition, the back to school event, we were going to have it last week, but we changed it to, it's going to be tomorrow night at City Hall from 4 to 8. So any families that need any back to school supplies, just come on down. You just had to be a Brigantine resident. 4 to 8 tomorrow at City Hall.
Perfect, Lynn. If we could open it up for public comment.
I'm not sure how we get signaled. Okay, is that okay if I go?
Yes, go ahead, Ed. You have to give your name and address.
Sure. Hi, my name's Ed Burke. I live at 929 North Shore Drive, and we've been in residence in Brigantine for 30 years, and just last couple of years moved down full time. And I just, before I get started, I did want to thank all of you for the great job you did. It was an easy choice to move down here. It's a wonderful place, like you've all said. And, you know, when you mentioned about the bridge, but my wife, when I come over, every time we come across it, said, we're coming to my happy place. So you do a great job, and you probably don't hear thank you enough, but I'm going to say thank you. Unfortunately, though, I want to talk about a situation. We live on the 17th hole of the golf course, and I've talked to Jim about this briefly, but it's become increasingly dangerous. For years, we've put up with damage to the house and broken windows, broken windshields, and even the safety of our children, people being outside in the backyard. And we've tried to take care of it ourselves with nets, planting trees and everything. But for some reason, the situation has gotten really worse. Balls are not flying just in the property now. They're flying across the street, into cars. The other day, there was a lady walking her 2-year-old child. The ball just missed her, and it was really scary. But there's balls all over the place, and I know some of you play the golf course, and if you walk down the street, you'll see it, and you see the damage, and you can see balls lying all over the place. And the situation's gotten even worse because we had to, you know, I'm not sure, but I think it was the township, removed a couple of trees due to the storm. One fell on a very large tree fell on one of the houses, and there were some other dead trees. Fortunately, or unfortunately, they kind of blocked the balls from coming in. And but now it's just like if you would come to my house or even the other houses, the newer ones that have been built, you would see an unobstructed view from the tee box, particularly the seniors and the ladies' tee box, but also the far edge of the tee box in the back to the houses and to the street. And believe me, I golf there all the time, and I'm not a great golfer, and I've hooked a lot of balls in my days, but I think there's a lot of ways that we can, or a lot of things that we can do to minimize the number of errant balls that are coming and the danger that it poses to the residents here on North Shore Drive. And it's not just myself. There's a number of other people. In fact, I have people from across the street that have asked me to put a petition together to see that we could get some action taken. I've given the Jim before, and I think Karen too, some ideas, but the only thing that we really got resolved was they put a small sign up on the tee box saying that the golfers are responsible for the damage, not the city of Brigantine. But even that sign now, if you go look at it, you can't see it. I took some pictures. It's covered by a small palm tree. But even with that, that really doesn't stop things from happening. You have to be home. If somebody gets hurt or damaged, you have to catch the people. They have to admit it. And I can't tell you how many times I've had to have the police up at the clubhouse, and it's just totally aggravating. But again, I don't want to make this about myself. There's personal danger here with the people across the street and that live up and down North Street. And I'm sure that everyone that lives up in here will sign that, and we could get a number of people. But having said all that, I think there's a couple of things that we can do without having without it having cost a lot of money. And some of the recommendations I made. I noticed that you made changes to some of the other holes, and I applaud that. I mean, because I played a course, I know the 5th hole. But one of the things they had done before was put a tree right by the tee box, and that seemed to work. But you also moved the tee box, which was great, and I applaud that. And I know that's an expensive proposition sometimes to do that. But having said that, I think if we could put a couple of trees on the edges of the tee box, there's a couple other things that we can slope the tee boxes, and the way they cut the grass, that it would really cut down on the number of balls. I know it's not going to prevent it 100%. I don't expect that. But it's just, it's a regular occurrence now where you get 3, 4, 5 balls coming this way, and I don't know how many others are on the other side of the street. So what I'm looking for is some kind of action. I'll be willing to work with people. I'll get other people involved in it. But I think that we really need to do something quickly before somebody gets seriously hurt. And I've heard the old adage about, oh, the golf courses here before the houses. Well, I don't think that'll hold up if somebody gets hurt. And besides, we've made changes. The houses, a lot of the houses now have been raised because of the flooding. So there's a whole host of changes. But I just want to alert you that it's a very, very dangerous situation. And I hate to wait till somebody gets hurt before we have to take some action. And I think we can do it. And I think we can make that hole even more aesthetically pleasing and more challenging. Well, I don't know if you want to make it any more challenging. I think it's a #1 handicap hole, but there's a lot of things we can do, I think, to minimize the damage that's being done right now.
Ed, thank you for bringing that to our attention. And I know you've been working with Karen and Jim. I know some of the discussions we've had too is actually about potentially putting some trees out there. We're trying to look at some of the options of what we can do. One of the issues that we're also trying to address is if you take the tee box and you move it in another direction, are you then kind of putting the issue on somebody else? So we're trying to figure out how to make that work. But sloping the tee box or cutting the grass in a certain way, I'm not a golfer, so I don't know. But I mean, if that's something that's helpful too, those are some options we can look into. And Ed, you said that you shared some of these with Councilwoman Karen Bue, like she has that list.
Yeah, I don't know if you recall my email, Karen and Jim.
Right. And I believe we spoke last year about this issue, and I've had emails from your neighbors also. I've spoken with the head professional, or our manager, John Hammer out there. I've spoken with John Doring and Jim Bennett. And I went out there one day, and I also play there all the time. And I looked to see maybe if the tee boxes were, slanted toward your house, but they're not. They're almost always slanted out, to the right. We're looking in, I know it's a problem, and I want you to know that we're still looking into it. There were some trees that were planted on, 14. There were trees planted on number 4 several years ago. The ones on 4, however, didn't make it through a storm and they all died. The one on, I believe on 14, where they planted a few trees, I believe that has helped. So we are looking into the possibilities of that.
Well, I mean, you say it's not, it is kind of slanted right at us. If I could show you from my deck or from my house and the other houses, if you just stand on the left side of the tee box, you're going to hit right into the house if you hit.
Right. Yeah. I meant blocks.
But,
I meant the blocks that you stand between.
Right. Right. So they can be slanted and they can be put away just as a minimum. But I think the least or the minimal thing would be to, if you, even a couple of trees on the left side of the tee boxes, it's not going to hurt anybody. I mean, I'm sure you all have too, played in golf courses where they've had trees in the middle of the fairway. We're just having them on the left side of the tee box there so that people at least will aim in the right direction. And by moving the tee box, I understand what you're saying. And by congratulations, Mr. Mayor there, but it's not, the right side of that hole is wide open, and it would really take almost, I don't know that anybody's ever put one over towards those houses on the right side of that. So there's a lot of room there, and believe me, I think we could do it really quickly if if we could meet on it and get some action taken. I'd really appreciate it, and I know the residents here would really appreciate it. So I think even just to put some trees up right now, like you did on that 5th hole initially, and then you could talk about maybe long-term moving the tee boxes or doing something that wouldn't impact anybody else. But I think we need to take some action.
So maybe we could, either the golf course committee or work with, some of the golf course staff just to take a look at what trees would be appropriate and what impact that would have out there. It seems like that might be a viable solution if it has people aiming a little bit to the right. I do know that people on the other side of the street do get hit. There was a gentleman standing outside. I did see him get hit in the stomach with a ball.
Oh, jeez.
Because it's both sides of the streets. I think your side of the street or your side of the fairway anyway, gets probably hit the hardest. So that's something we got to consider too. Like what is going to help to try to alleviate that issue. But I think maybe the potential of looking at a couple trees out there might help.
Yeah.
I will be back in touch with you, Ed, and after I get back with the golf course personnel, and it'll be very soon. We'll let you know.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all you guys do. Thank you.
Thanks.
I know Shirley. Shirley, you're muted, Shirley. Oh, can't hear you. You're muted.
Okay.
Ah,
I
there
would
you
like to say that we grieve for all the losses and the sadness in Brigantine. We hope that Andy can finally rest in peace, and we admired him. We want to congratulate you, Vince, on a job you really deserve. And we thank you for all of the support that you've given us during this hard time. And I know for a fact that if I ever ask you anything, you always answer me. You're very, very kind. Brigantine is very lucky to have you, and we thank you.
Oh, thank you, Shirley. It means a lot. Appreciate it. Jim, do we see anybody else who's looking to be recognized?
I'm scrolling through the pages now, Mayor. Stand by. No, I see nobody else, Mayor.
All right, then we're going to close public comment at this time. Are there any final council comments?
Yes. Vince, Mayor, I'd like to just wish you congratulations and the best of luck moving forward. I know you have nothing but the best of the interests of the city in your heart, your mind, and your soul. So I wish you the very best there. I was kind of got tied up talking about Andy, and well, certainly not tied up, but just my mind was on Andy and those final comments, and I just wanted to pass that along to you. I meant to in my final comments earlier, and so best of luck there. And one other thing was you spoke about Carter Dorley. My younger son is, he's also a lifeguard in Brigantine, as you know, Vince, being a lifeguard yourself and everything. And he's been keeping me up to date on Carter. He showed me pictures and a whole bunch of stuff, and that is one neat story. A kid, he's got some skill and some talent just from some of the things I saw online. And I had a very important event I had to be with my son yesterday. Would have loved to have been there, but couldn't make it. But I wish that young man, what is he, 9?
9 years old.
9 years old. Wish that young man, that young fellow, the best moving forward himself. Okay, so thank you.
Yeah, and actually, one last thing on Carter, like we had people come up all the way from Cape May to come surf with him, but people as far as Hawaii have been following Carter on his Instagram page. And I know some of the people out there sent him videos, wishing him luck and saying that, in spirit, they were there with him. So, it's not just Brigantine, it's kind of gone viral all over. So it's been a good day. All right, is there any other council comments?
I got to see Carter today surfing and bodyboarding at 16th Street. He is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
He was going through the curls and everything on that boogie board. It was a pleasure to watch it.
Yeah. It's fun too. Like I've surfed with him a bunch of times, and just being out there with him, it just makes you happy. He is so happy and so excited to be out there in the water. And it's just, I don't know, it's almost contagious, his happiness. Seeing no other council comments, can we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
I'd like to thank you for joining our September 2nd council meeting, and look forward to seeing you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.